So without further ado, let's dive right into the Yelp seminar. First of all, everybody, my name is James Shea. I am the CEO of Cybertegic, and you guys registered because you got an email from us in Yelp talking about hosting this Yelp webinar with everybody. I think as a digital marketing agency, we see the chaos that's going out there. And one of the things we know we can definitely help the business out there is help them pivot to transition online. Social distancing is here to stay with us for a while until the vaccine is found for this terrible virus. So in the meantime, we see that there's definitely a lot more online activity that's happening, and shopping, business are being conducted virtually more than ever. Right? So we're hoping that in today's webinar, we can share with you guys how to transition your business online using Yelp. And there's a lot of new feature that Yelp has, as well as a lot of powerful mechanism that you can use to acquire more businesses. And in this chaotic time, you need every business need all the advantage they can get to acquire a new customer online. Okay. So very quick about our company. We are a Google certified digital marketing agency as well as a Yelp certified marketing agency. We've been doing this for the past 15 years already. And nowadays, most of the marketing are powered by AI in the back end. So AI are our good friends. We work with AIs and make sure that campaigns are optimized. Okay. In addition to being a digital marketing agency, we also are a full service shop, which we have the ability to build websites based on Magento, Shopify, as well as WordPress platform. So in the past 15 years, we've been helping a lot of professional service business as well as e-commerce business grow online by building their website and then deploying strategic marketing, targeted marketing to drive traffic to their site. Right. So today in particular, we're going to talk about professional service business. Now, you have received our invitation. It's because and most of you, I would say, probably 95% of you are from CDO industry. Your business is in there. And the reason being is that CDO industry is dear to our heart. Our former office are actually in CDO industry. Until last year, we actually moved to Pasadena. But we have a lot of friends, a lot of clients in CDO industry. Edward from IQ Laser Vision, their headquarters is actually in CDO industry. And therefore, this time we decided we're going to do a webinar session focusing on three types of business in CDO industry. First is, of course, the legal services, such as lawyers, personal injury attorneys, family law attorneys. The second segment is for the home services, such as plumbing, garage door repairs, and so on and so forth. And then the third sector is the doctors. Now, there's a reason why we focus on this three particular segment. It's because based on the online activity that we see, these three segments are actually growing during this pandemic. Right? If you guys are in this segment of business, this is an opportunity for you because the demands for your services are high. And later on, Gina from Yelp will actually dive into some data to show you. We do everything based on data. So we see that there's a golden opportunity for business in this segment to capture more business. Therefore, we're doing this webinar today and to share with you some of the best practices. Okay. So going to the next slide, okay. The focus today, basically within this hour, I want to share some of the important facts. One is the impact of COVID-19 to the business industries. There are some good, there's a majority of the business has been impacted in a bad way, but there's some silver lining, some of the businesses that actually can take advantage of the shift in the demand into the industry right now. Right? Second is, if you are new to Yelp and you haven't really claimed your account, we want to teach you how to make sure your business gets found online via Yelp. Right? Then you can take advantage of the the advertising and acquire additional customer coming to your profile. And then third, Gina's going to talk about what Yelp can do in terms of its feature, the new feature that's coming out, as well as there are special Yelp support for business during COVID-19, such as some of the free features that you can use or even getting additional advertising credits. Okay. Lastly, we'll show you some example of how different businesses have pivoted successfully during this pandemic. And in addition, we have the wonderful Edward's going to share his personal experience with his business, the LASIK business, how they have pivoted and during this pandemic. And then we'll conclude this webinar with a question and answer section. So let's dive into the impact. As everybody knows, majority of business are suffering right now. Okay. There are recent research that has shown that anything that deal with physical contact, it has gotten major impact. For example, breweries, art galleries, going to art galleries, bridal stores, coffee shops, French restaurants. All these business has suffered tremendously in terms of dropping revenue. On the brighter side, there are certain businesses that's doing really well. And unfortunately, it's kind of sad that one such example is gun and ammo. With the recent rioting, this business, they're selling their stuff like hotcakes. There are more people going out and buying guns trying to protect themselves. But in terms of fitness and exercise equipment, this caliber is also growing as well. People are at home trying to exercise more and trying to stay fit. Groceries, pharmacy, fast food. If you're in one of these segments, you should actually see a surge in demands for your product and services. Okay. So some good things come out of this pandemic was that people are embracing online technology. As you guys see, we are now all using Zoom, and Zoom has become a regular vocabulary in our daily speech. Are you Zooming? Are you going to be Zooming? Things like that. And if you purchased Zoom stock in the past, guys, good for you. If you bought it like a month ago, I think it was $150. Now, today, it was at $212. Okay. And if you bought it 3 months ago, 5 months ago, even good for you. I think it was at $78 at that time. Okay. So if you're an investor in stock, do look into online stocks. I think because of social distancing, more technology will be utilized and people will invest a lot more into using technology to transform their business. Okay. Some of the other interesting industry that's growing, people are going online, Twitch, using TikTok. Unfortunately, ESPN, because there's no sport, you see that there's a drop in terms of the viewership. Okay. But Amazon, I'm sure everybody who's a shopaholic now fully embrace Amazon. I myself, I think when I'm bored, I go to Amazon and look for things to buy. So I'm one of those shopaholics. So as I was mentioning, it's very interesting. You can see how social distancing and the pandemic has forced all of us to embrace technology, to transform our business to adopt even more technology. This is evident from the fact that NASDAQ, which is composed of mainly all the tech stock, now is higher than January 1 in terms of the overall index, while all the other segments are suffering. So one of the main idea I'd like everybody to take away today is that it is time to pivot, and you have to pivot fast. The pandemic is causing a major disturbances to all the industries, but we've seen successful case of how business pivoted, and they actually make more money now than before. Right? And now we're going to show you some example of how some of the business have pivoted. But if there's one idea to take away today, is to look at the shift in consumer demand that's currently happening in the pandemic, and then pivot your business to meet those demands. Okay. So let's see some of the business that's pivoting. Well, restaurant. A lot of restaurants now tells people they allow takeout and they have Grubs or Uber Eats delivery. Okay, if you're in a restaurant business, you haven't done that, but you got to do that. Especially on your Yelp profile, they create a special feature called Business Highlight that will help you highlight that your business accepts takeout and can deliver. Okay, you want to utilize those features greatly. Second is if you're in the medical professional business, such as it could be emergency health care center, or it could be as simple as a LASIK eye center. You do want to emphasize that you have the ability to take virtual appointments. You could still do virtual consultation, booking for future, and most importantly, in your facility, you follow a very strict policy of cleanliness, and that you have a safe environment for people to come visit your office if they choose to do so. Okay. The plumbing industry, a lot of home contractors, they actually shift to advertise that they're doing plumbing. Okay, because right now in pandemic, we're all locked down in our house. We can't afford the toilet to be down. Once it's down, we need that plumber. So plumbers is in high demand right now. And surprisingly, lawyer is actually in high demand right now. A particular segment of lawyers in high demand, which is the family law. And it's sad to say that during this pandemic, because we are all kind of locked down at home, and there was a lot of domestic violence as well as divorce cases that are being filed. So today, if you're a lawyer that you practice a different type of law, which many lawyer does, you might want to advertise that you do specialize in family law if that's one of your specialties, because there's a lot of demand in searches based on that category. If you're in the cleaning home services industry, there's a lot of demands for people that's looking for cleaning service that can cater to office cleaning as well as restaurant cleaning. They want to make sure that they can tell people their place is clean of COVID-19 and safe to visit. Okay. Lastly, as I mentioned, if you're a medical professional, whether it's in the medical spot or you're in dentistry or somewhere, virtual consultation is a very important part that should be incorporated in your practice now. Okay. Some of the case study, this is actual case study that I heard. I live in around Pasadena area. There's a couple of restaurants. All they did was they transitioned to a family manual where they tell people they can create family meals 3 times a day. And they deliver to your house. Instead of their business initially being down 67%, they actually increased by 45% more than what they had before. Okay, this is an example of if you pivot successfully and let people know that you can still service them based on their need during this pandemic, you might be able to increase your business. Another example, this was a client of ours. He's also a dear friend. They used to sell plastic cups. When the pandemic first hit, their business dropped by tens of millions of dollars, by over 70%. But he quickly shifted to importing protective gears, such as masks, sanitizing gloves. And within a month, he's now actually increased his sales by 90% over what he used to do last year. He's making more money, $1 million more revenue versus what before pandemic hit. But again, this is the idea I want to share with you is when you are facing with the challenge of pandemic, if you can pivot fast, there's actually opportunity that if you land on the right opportunity, you could turn your business around. And not only can you turn your business around, you can increase your revenue accordingly. Okay. Another thing I like everybody to kind of keep your eyes out is that the consumer's mentality is into cost saving now. Okay. So if your services can provide them cost saving aspect, to their business, you could capture a lot more business. For example, everybody know that the Fed has reduced their interest rate. So one of my mortgage broker friends was like telling me that they have so many phone calls about refinancing that they actually couldn't handle right now, and they're pushing people away because people wanted to save money. Right? The second thing that business is going to look forward to is that they want to start outsourcing. They're reducing their staff. Probably some of them already reduced their staff, and they have no plan to hire them back. So they wanted to outsource in order to reduce their overall cost on labor. If you're in a professional service business such as IT outsourcing, or you're in accounting services, or again, you're in lawyer, law firm, or marketing per se, you might see an increase in demands for your services as people are trying to outsource and lower their costs. Okay. So how do you pivot your business to get more business to customer online? Well, fundamentally, the first step is make sure you have a Yelp account, okay, and you're being found on Google, okay. And the reason I mentioned Yelp in particular today, again, this is the Yelp webinar, right? The three industries that we talked about, which you guys belong to, home services, lawyers, as well as the medical spa or medical professions, right? We notice many of you are still not up to date with claiming your profile on Yelp and increasing your visibility. So we highly recommend that the first step is you need to be found online. And the way you test whether you can be found online is simply just please go to Google or go to Yelp and then just type in the keyword for your service. So today, if you are a family lawyer in, let's say, family lawyer in City of Industry, do a simple test right after this webinar, or even right now. Just type in family lawyer in your city and see if you show up in top 10 of Yelp or you show up in top 10 of Google. If you're not there, the chances of you people finding you are very little. Right? So that's your first step. Be found online. Okay. Let's dive into how do you be found online. Okay. In terms of Yelp, right? It's easy to claim your account, but there is a lot of steps involved in optimizing your account. So what we have done for our audience today, guys, is actually we created 2 free do-it-yourself guides. Whether you're a beginner or you already have an account and you optimize it in the past, okay? We have an advanced guide for those people that will already optimize your account. The more that you can optimize your account, the higher the visibility that you could have when somebody search for, like I said, the keyword, family lawyer in the City of Industry or in your particular business. Okay? So do that, and we're going to share with you in this presentation 2 links where you can go download our free guides. And it will take you guys some time, but it's definitely well worth the effort. Okay. So as I mentioned, you got to claim and optimize your account. And this is what your profile will look like on Yelp. The first one, Elizabeth Yang, is actually our client, and she practiced in family law and very successful family law lawyers. And recently, we see probably a triple increase in terms of the leads that she's getting from her Yelp account and advertisement because there's a high demand due to the pandemic situations. Okay. Let me go to the next slide. Okay, so I mentioned that we want to help our audience out there, so we specially created 2 guides. If you need a copy of this presentation, please do leave your first name and your contact information, your email address in the chat room. Johnny, wave your hand. Johnny will take down your information and he will send a link to this presentation to you, as well as if you want to a link to download the beginner guide as well as the advanced guide to optimize your Yelp business listing, we can send it to you. Now, you do have to invest about an hour to follow through on the instruction on the beginner guide if you want to optimize it. But it's the instruction is very easy to follow. So I highly encourage you claim your Yelp account and optimize it if you haven't done so. And for those of you who already optimized your account, we have an advanced tactic guide for you. It's also very easy to follow, but this one will take you about at least 3 hours to complete. Again, it's well worth it to invest your time. Please do so if you have an interest in optimizing your account. Okay. Now, we mentioned there are certain industry that is actually seeing a surge in demands right now. If you so happen that you are in this industry, what you want to do is actually advertise because it allows you to capture a lot more market share. Okay. The example I gave you before, Elizabeth Yanes, we clearly see that when we told her that there's a demand in terms of the number of searches for divorces services, we told her to increase her advertisement. And as a result, we see a quick increase in number of leads that's being generated into your account. So if you're in the industry that has a high demand right now, do consider increase your advertisement so you can jump into the top 10 of Yelp search results. Therefore, you can capture a lot more market share. Okay. All right. So a quick example, this was one of our other clients in the city of industry. They're specialized in personal injury law, and they also advertise on Yelp as well. And we still see quite a bit of leads and return coming through to them despite the pandemic situations. I'm going to jump through the next two slides. This basically was simply just to show everybody how much this client invested and what kind of return they're seeing on their advertising campaign. So normally on a monthly basis, we monitor the return very carefully with our clients to make sure it's positive. In this case of our personal injury clients, this is back in, by the way, the data back in July of 2019. Of course, in today's pandemic situation, this number will be different. But nevertheless, if you're in an industry that's in high demand with your services right now, such as family law, you actually might see even better results than this. Okay. But just looking at this case study per se, this client invested about $3,300 before, and we tracked the return, and they were able to generate about $20,000 worth of contract in a month of advertising. Okay. So normally when you do advertise with Yelp, you got to give it about a 6 month of ramp up time because the AI in the back end, as I mentioned, it needs time to learn. Yelp system also needs time to adjust the campaign and optimize it along with our effort in there. So when you do start a Yelp advertising campaign, do start with a lower budget, but as soon as you see the result is doing well, then increase your budget accordingly to get better results. Okay, with that said, that concludes my segment of the presentation. I hope I was able to show everybody, what's happening right now with the business industry during this pandemic. But most importantly, we and Yelp, we wanted to share the positive direction, what you can do to leverage Yelp to increase the sales of your business. Now I'm going to turn the stage over to Gina, and she's going to dive into more details in regards to what Yelp can do for you.
Okay, great. Okay.
All right. Let's start sharing.
All right, everybody. See this screen, James?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Looks good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as James mentioned, my name is Gina Drago. So I have been working for Yelp, I should say, for the last 5 years. My current position is working with digital marketing advertising agencies to help them support their clients on Yelp. So Cybertegic is one of the clients I work with. I'll be talking for about 15 minutes, a quick overview of some of the Yelp products and the Yelp audience, and just the importance of managing your content on Yelp. Just like anything, We're thinking about business as usual. It's just not the case anymore. So if you've ever done Yelp advertising in the past, it's important to revisit it now. If you've never done Yelp advertising, it's really important to look into it. Unless your business is in a position where you're turning away new clients, you should be investing a portion of your revenue on advertising. It's always good to connect with James and Johnny at Cybertegic to talk about what percentage of your revenue you should be investing in advertising. It's important to think about growing your business, especially now once you reopen or you just are looking to get, whether it's more patients, customers, whatever the type of business that you are. In general, we really want to focus on the Yelp audience because most people aren't really sure on how people use Yelp, how many people are searching on Yelp, why it's important to advertise on Yelp. So really the most important thing to understand is our Yelp audience. Once you understand how the Yelp audience uses Yelp, you'll really realize how important and how powerful Yelp advertising can actually be for your business. So as far as demand, we have about 100 million unique visitors coming to Yelp each month. Keep in mind, people are searching for everything that's related to their life. It's going to be everything from garage door repair, restaurants, plumbers, dentists, LASIK, lawyers. People really are using Yelp as a one-stop shop to find a quality business for any of their needs. It's really important also if you look at the square to the right, that 85% of the searches on Yelp are unbranded. So with an undecided audience, it means people are coming here ready to make a purchase, but they don't know the type of business or the actual business name that they're looking for. So they come to Yelp, they search, if you're looking at the search query to the right, something broad like plumber, or in case maybe emergency garage door repair, a divorce lawyer, med spa, Botox. They're searching for a query that's unbranded. So it gives your business an opportunity to be found by someone who has their loyalty up for grabs. It's also really important to understand that people are coming to Yelp really with the intention to buy. Many people purchase within one day. The majority of people purchase within 1 week. And the intent to make a purchase is there. So 97% of the searches on Yelp, they're intending to make a purchase. Feel free as I'm talking to put any questions, comments in the chat box, and we'll make sure that we address it at the end. But if we're looking at search demand specific to the city of Industry in the last 30 days, in the last 30 days, there were 50,000 plus searches for medical spas and cosmetic surgeons, 120,000 plus searches for HVAC, 140,000 searches plus for plumbers, 50,000 plus for electricians, and 18,000 plus searches for divorce and family law. So even during this pandemic, people are still searching for these businesses because they need them. In the case for like medical spas, cosmetic surgeons, LASIK, a lot of them are searching for future appointments. So it's still really important to advertise your business, even if your doors aren't open yet. Pivot to doing virtual consultations in the meantime. Get the appointment books filled up for when your doors will be open because that's really important. And then for all of the other categories below, HVAC, plumbers, electricians, lawyers, you're still operating. It's maybe not necessarily business as usual because you have to pivot how you're handling your appointments, but you still have a great opportunity to reach a ton of users on Yelp that are looking for your business. Most people are pretty shocked by this search volume, and it really will only continue to increase as people start going back to their normal lives. Specifically for personal injury lawyers and lawyers, 94% of the searches for the lawyer category are unbranded. So that's even higher than the average of Yelp. So it's even more important as a lawyer to understand how people are searching on Yelp. As far as some information for looking for booking for future appointments specific to like beauty and spas, we have 1.5 billion annual searches for beauty and spas, which will also encompass things like cosmetic surgeons and med spas. But ultimately, people are turning to Yelp because they need to make a future appointment. For instance, for me, I haven't been able to go to my med spa in now 3 months, and I've already now made an appointment for the end of June because I know I'm behind. So people are looking at maybe getting their fillers done. They need to do just basic appointments that they had on the calendar. They need to reschedule. And just like before, 97% of the searches for beauty and spas, cosmetic surgeons, med spas are unbranded. I thought this was a pretty good meme. Fashion board customers are anxious to get their next appointment scheduled, and then their next appointment scheduled. Coming out of quarantine, like, you know, people need their hair done, their eyelashes, their Botox. So if you are in this field, it's really important to get in front of people who are ready to make sure that they come back out of quarantine looking good. James talked about this, and I know Edward's going to talk about this, so I don't want to go into too much, but it's really about adapting to your current environment. Businesses that are not willing to adjust, to change what they've been doing in the past, are going to have a tough time surviving versus businesses that are making all of these changes, whether it's virtual remote services, adding additional cleaning measures to make your patients or clients feel very comfortable when they come in, making sure they're aware there's a lag time in between appointments to avoid any sort of cross-contamination. You know, there are a lot of things you can do to make consumers feel comfortable and pick your business versus others. So it's very important that on your Yelp listing, you are showing that information. Yelp is offering a couple additional product adjustments to support businesses during this time. It's really important that your consumers are informed on your reactions on your specific business strategies that you've adjusted due to COVID. It's our top priority to connect a consumer with a great local business. So you can always go online to the Yelp support, check out Yelp blog, see what's new. A really great way is to make sure that you're working with someone who handles your internet, your marketing. Reach out to Johnny and Jennifer and James here, and they'll help you. But a really important thing, as Jay mentions, make sure you're managing your content on Yelp. That's everything from claiming your business, adding photos, adding specialties, updating your business details. As far as COVID-19 policy disclaimer, every business has an opportunity to add information about their business. This banner pops up immediately when somebody comes to your page. So it's really, really important to add information about your business, and you can add up to 1,500 characters. So here's just a little bit about the policy disclaimer. It's an above the fold banner, so essentially you see it initially. It allows businesses to communicate, and it's very visible, and you're able to update this through your business owner's account. This is a free feature. It's very important to take advantage of all the free features. Highly recommend using the link that James provides for at least at minimum taking care of the free features, but really realizing the power of Yelp advertising in this sort of a climate. Business Highlights is a newer feature we're offering, and we've created specific business highlights to counter what's happening and how you need to pivot your business. So a couple are listed here, more like remote services, virtual estimates, some cases online classes, and these would appear on your listing and your ad units. Any questions about pricing for any of these things? Again, just reach out to Johnny and James. I don't have any pricing specific because it is unique per business. As far as updating your listing, if you are advertising, we have what's called a call to action banner, which is in the middle of your listing, which allows you to customize any of these specific services. You could use some of these examples at the bottom. Then we have two specific ad products. We really want to make sure you're using, James mentioned before, and I think it's really powerful to do a search as if you're a consumer. Do a search for best med spa in city of industry. And if your business is not in the search results, the first page, you're realistically not being found. 80% of the users on Yelp are clicking a business that they find in the first page of search results. So if you're on page 2, 3, 4, 5, your business is not nearly being found as much as it could be. So ultimately, if you are on board, you understand the Yelp audience is ready to make a purchase, it's already clear that there's enough people searching for your type of business. Yelp ads is the solution to bring in more business to you. So our ads are really going to appear in two places. We're going to include your ads above search results and then also on your competitors' pages. The next part of a Yelp advertising program is called an enhanced profile. This is really important because if we're drawing more people to your page, we really want to make sure that your listing looks as good as possible. You have great photo content. It's very consistent to your branding. You can have a complimentary video hosted that's up to 2 minutes. You can highlight new items, special items, ways that you're combating COVID-19. And really, we want to make sure that customers are engaged. We want them to click to your website. We want them to call you. We want them to send you a message. And by making sure your content is all up to date, it's really important to help with those leads. This is just a quick overview. I won't go too deep into it, but it's as far as things that you really need to make sure you're doing is updating your hours. Using business highlights is an additional feature, which is a great way to promote specific COVID pivoting strategies. You can also make sure, like we talked about, the COVID-19 special banner to fill out, and you can even update photos showing maybe additional cleaning measures you're taking, your reception staff potentially wearing a mask, a video conferencing snapshot. I mean, there are a lot of things you could do to make sure that you're highlighting the attributes that you're taking advantage now and that you really want your customers to be aware of. Adding a request to quote is really important if that's available. It's an internal messaging service through Yelp and allows users to directly just send you a message from Yelp. Business attributes, this is also, I don't want to talk too much about this because this will be in the link James sent, but it's really important to update all of this, and all of this can be done through your business owner's account. These are 3 additional products we've just launched. A verified license that allows you to show that your business is an accredited license. So it essentially it allows people to trust your business even more, knowing that you are a fully licensed business, whether you're a lawyer, a contractor, plumber, med spa. Business highlights we already talked about, which were these little icons to the right. And then portfolios is a really great feature, specifically for businesses that offer multiple services. It allows you to bulk different photos specific to the service and allows your users to pretty much use the Yelp listing as a one-stop shop. I mean, that's the idea here is you have so much content on your Yelp listing. If we're driving more users to it, they really have everything they need. They'll have reviews from other past people who have used your business. They'll have your hours. They'll have your specialties, great photo content, and those businesses that take care of all that information are going to essentially win more business off of Yelp. Lastly is what we talked about before is really just encouraging more people to call you or click to your website, because as James mentioned, not only setting up advertising is important, but tracking your advertising and understanding your return on investment is so important. I can't tell you how many people set up their advertising, don't do a good job of actually setting up the campaign, don't track it, and then don't understand the return that they're getting on Yelp. So if this is something that you don't think you're necessarily capable of running on your own, it's important to reach out to a digital marketing agency that does this essentially on a daily basis to help you with it, make sure that you're reaching your goals. And then that's all I have. James, if you want to.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you for that very detailed, informative explanation of all the features that Yelp provides. Let me take back the control of the screen, and I wanted to emphasize that Yelp also have certain free service support. If you're an existing Yelp client, you could be qualified for a free business enhanced profile and a free business verified license. Do contact your Yelp representative or your digital marketing agency to inquire about what type of accredited or free support that Yelp is giving you. All right. And next, we have a very special gentleman, again, from IQ LASIK, Edward. We're going to have him share some of his experience about him working with Yelp. Edward, I'd like you to speak. How long have you been using Yelp and Yelp advertising to grow your business? Has it been like 7 years?
I would say at least 7 years, definitely.
Okay. Okay. So it would be great if you can share with the audience, what did you think of the Yelp advertisement, and what is the best way, some of the best practices to use it to grow a business, especially during this pandemic time?
Absolutely. Thank you, James. Thank you, Gina. It's always a pleasure to listen to the both of you. Very knowledgeable, and not only do you get marketing tips, you actually get stock tips too. So James, you're amazing, very knowledgeable. You know, as a LASIK practice, we rely a lot on our patient reviews, right? Patient experiences. You know, whether it's Google, Facebook, or Yelp, we definitely take pride in that. You know, and to deliver amazing customer service, amazing results. And Yelp is just another platform. We highly believe in it. The Yelp advertising, you know, has really grown our business. We actually stopped, to be transparent, we stopped our Yelp advertising because of the COVID. We ran some analytics, we looked at the data, and we can't wait to start it back up, you know, because, you know, the organic versus the paid ads, we're actually getting a lot of leads through the Yelp advertisement. So, you know, from a user end, wanted to share that with the audience. And yeah, I think it goes towards like just social proofing, right? James, like you mentioned that earlier, is as a consumer, they want to make sure that they're choosing the right lawyer, the right plumber, that this person is, you know, vouched for, right? And they rely on these platforms. So from the social proofing aspect, we definitely have grown our business because of that.
And Edward, I know the data, we know virtual conferencing, virtual consultation is very popular around professional services now. You guys are also using virtual consultation as well with your patients, right?
Absolutely. If you were to tell me, you know, 3 months ago that we would be seeing patients on Zoom, I would have been like, we're too busy for that. We don't have time for that, right? We've been in practice for 20 years. We have a well-oiled machine. Our staff has been doing this for, you know, many years now. The last 2 months, we've, you know, rolled up our sleeves, you know, developed this program, and we are actually getting a lot more leads, a lot more clients through these virtual consultation platform. If you don't mind, I could share you, you know, through Yelp, how we actually get patients to schedule directly to our website or directly through our scheduler. So if I'm going to go ahead and screen share, and I actually have another video about the best practices, right? So if we have some time, I'll share that with you. That's something that we created. But this is basically our Yelp page on for our Rolling Heights office, right? City of Industry, that's our flagship office. You'll notice right here, we have the option of, you know, booking your virtual consultation.
That's great.
And it goes directly to our Calendly page. So we have SoCal patients, NorCal patients. This is the same calendar that we have embedded in our website. And it's very simple. You could just, you know, click, click, click. So, you know, as you said earlier, James, you know, technology, you utilize technology to your advantage, right? Your clients want a frictionless experience. If they have to click like 3 extra buttons, they're not going to call you, right? If they call you and it goes directly to voicemail, you're going to lose them, right? So make sure you go through your process as you would a regular client. And if things are great, you're in business, right? If things are not great, call James, talk to Gina. They'll walk you through it as they've helped us, for sure.
It looks great. It looks like you have streamlined this virtual consultation process to make people easy.
It's a work in progress, James. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're not 100% yet, but you know, I think everybody in this time of day, you know, they appreciate that, right? Everybody is in the same position. All businesses are in the same position. You the word we use is speed to implementation, right? If you wait 3 months to make sure that it's perfect, you already lost 3 months of fine tuning things, right? And so that's a key word that we use. So, just do it. Don't wait for the perfect time.
Got it. Got it. Now, Edward, thank you for sharing that experience with our audience. On a side note, on a personal note, I know everybody now during the pandemic, they've been working from home and staring at their monitor a lot more than they do from the past. For example, I do too now. And I begin to realize my vision is going blurred. So does IQ have any promotions? I might have to consider doing LASIK with you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I'm actually I'm the director of business development. I've been working with IQ for 14 years now. I'm happy to talk business. I grew up on the operations side. Now I'm focused on driving the business to help the business grow. So I know there's a lot of business owners here, small business owners, right? When I first started, we were about 15 people. Now, 3 offices. Now we have 12 locations, NorCal, SoCal. So yeah, I offer my phone number, my email for the businesses out there to reach out to me. I'm happy to share a lot more experience in terms of working with you, James, and working with Gina, really. It's been a pleasure, and we will make sure your company gets a special
thank you for taking care of our audience.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, but thank you for this wonderful experience that you're sharing with everybody. I think it's very important that we gather the best practices from all industry and share among the business, because everyone needs to know how to pivot right now. We're facing with probably one of the greatest challenges for business right now, and many of them are still in the dark. They're not sure what to do, and that's what the whole purpose of our webinar today is, to share some light in the direction in what business can do to become better during this pandemic.
And James, I appreciate you throwing this, because the people that are on this webinar right now, they're already ahead of the game, right? There's other businesses that are not, adapting or evolving, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And I throw it out there to the audiences, if you don't have a website, if you haven't claimed your Yelp, do that today, right? Because that's how people find you. And if you're not in that landscape, if you're not in that world, you might as well not be in business. So please, from a I guess a small business perspective, if you guys remember anything, just remember those 2 things: have a good website, or have a website. Period. It doesn't even have to be good. Have a website. Have a Yelp account.
Right. Thank you, Edward. Thank you for that wonderful sharing. So we're at the end of our webinar. I'd like to summarize for everyone. The pandemic, unfortunately, this outbreak of COVID-19, it's going to stay with us for at least 6 months to 12 months. Based on the official announcement, vaccines not going to come out until the end of the year, or maybe even longer. Okay. What we foresee happening is that we are all being conditioned and trained to use technology to social distance and to do virtual meeting and conduct business virtually. We have to embrace that. All right. So those of you who are invited today, you're actually in the industry right now that's in high demand. Your business is in high demand. So we highly urge you to optimize your Yelp account. Use our guide to optimize your Yelp account. And if you want to capture even more businesses, we are the Yelp certified advertising agency, and we can here to help you manage and control your advertising to generate the best return possible. All right. We want to see you grow and not only survive this, your business survive this pandemic, but actually maybe generate even more revenue as compared to before. Okay. Gina is our direct contact in Yelp, in the Yelp advertising department. So we can execute Yelp advertising campaign and make adjustments very quickly because we have Gina on our side. Right. So we hope that if you do have a need in terms of Yelp advertisement, please do think of us. We're here ready to help. And if you have any other question, it could be just simple e-commerce, online business questions, we would love to provide advice as well. This is all free in the effort to support our business community. So contact us, leave us with your email and contact information if you have any questions for us. Okay. With that said, I'd like to open up for question and answer to the audience, and then we'll see if we can help you with your particular question. Jen, go ahead and please open up the webinar to see if there's any questions.
Sure. If any of you have any questions, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Okay. And then, okay. And if you're shy and you want to post your question in the chat room, you could do so too, and then we'll answer your question that way too. But me and Gina just going to casually talk about this business practice right now, based on what we've seen in the market while we're waiting for a question to come up. It was interesting. There's a boba shop down in Arcadia. They only take drive-through and curbside. And the other day I drove by, there must be 10 cars outside waiting in the drive-through just to get a boba drink. Okay. And sure enough, I went online to their Yelp account, and they listed out curbside picked up. And they have hours all the way until I think was 9 p.m. at night. So throughout the whole day, we just see that there's a big line of cars waiting outside just to get boba drinks. Yeah. So this is one of the successful pivot story over here in Pasadena.
Hello?
Hi, Ron.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I have a question. I am on Yelp, and I get quite a few leads from Yelp, and I'm trying to improve that a lot more. And I was interested in, as far as like getting your guides. How do you go about getting your guides?
Yeah.
I actually do decorative concrete, and I just actually finished a project polishing the concrete in a basement in San Marino on Monday, and that was a Yelp lead, and got another one. Actually, I'm writing a proposal for now that the lead came out of Yelp in Long Beach. So I'm getting the leads. Really, I haven't done a whole lot with my Yelp page, but just for a long time. And now I'm starting to update my pictures, send out the requests for reviews and so forth.
Ron, that's actually it's a good information that you share. If you haven't optimized your account and you're already getting leads, you definitely want to optimize your account. You will get a lot more exposures. And feel free to leave your information, your name, and your email in the chat room in this webinar. Johnny, my associate, he will email you the link to download the basic guide as well as the events guide if you're interested.
And Ron, just a quick checklist. I mean, things you really want to make sure that you have is, are you under the correct categories? Do you have your history of your business filled out, your specialties of your business? Do you have your messaging enabled? And then if you are interested in advertising, we actually have new tools through our negative keyword targeting. So you can actually be pretty specific on where you want your ads to be delivered. So you're having a better chance to convert that ad click to a lead. So from free stuff to additionally to using the ad targeting, there's a lot you could do. And photos, as you mentioned, are a huge benefit in your business, before and afters. A ton of photo content will go a long way.
Yeah, I actually did Yelp ads for a hot second, and as part of the problem, the negative keywords really I wasn't set up correctly, and so I got a lot of stuff in areas that I didn't do, right. And so it kind of left me with a bad experience. And at the time, and even now, the budget was limited, so I just kind of shut it off. As example, and even the category, like I do decorative concrete, and with your categories, you guys are just masonry concrete. And when most people think of concrete, I got, like pouring concrete, stamping concrete. I specialize in polishing, epoxy coatings, and getting into overlays. So, but I was getting tons of clicks. Do I do seal coats which is something that's done for asphalt? Do I pour concrete? So that's, at the time there was no negative word set up. Actually, they felt that would just kind of set me up, and the Yelp refs kind of set me up and left. And so I didn't have too much of a pleasant experience with that. But I do want to optimize my page more.
Yeah.
Just in general, because like I said, I do get the leads from it. And actually, I'm going to be posting some more pictures of the project I just finished this week. And I'm older. I'm 63, so I'm still working my way through social media, that type of thing. So.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Gina, the negative keyword function came out about 3 months ago, or
It's about 6+, maybe a year for certain accounts. But yeah, Ron, it's really important to make sure that you're updating your negative keywords, you're under the right categories. You can update actually even your ad copy to when your ad shows up and is highlighted, that you can say you specialize in decorative pavers, or decorative whatever the specific keyword that you're looking for. So that's really important. So if you do decide to do Yelp advertising again, it's always good to work through a professional like Cybertegic. But if you're just looking for free services, the photos, the content, that's just really important to make sure that you're up to date on.
Yeah. Ron, so just to let you know, the Yelp's constantly developing new features and functionality within their backend. And even though we're in this industry, we about, like I said, 3 to 5 months ago, we see a new suite of new function that's coming out and allowing advertisers to highly target a certain group of people. Even the business highlight and all this verified license, they just got developed recently. So you want to take advantage of that. You want to use it to highly target the customer that's coming through your leads. Therefore, you won't be wasting your time and wasting your advertising budgets.
All right. Well, thank you.
No problem. No problem.
And if anyone else has any questions, just go ahead and unmute yourself if you have any.
All right. So, Gina, any good business practice that you see in the area for family, for lawyers, for home services, or doctors, medical spa that you see from other clients?
Yeah, I mean, this is even what, Edward hit on earlier. It's just really important that you take every single customer contact, with great pride, whether it's just giving a consultation, whether they're actually going through and using you for your service. It's really important in this day and age that you are taking care of your customers, because people leave feedback on all different forums. So that's really something that's very important, is take every customer as like your best customer. That's really what you should focus on, is quality service. And then when you're thinking about your business, it's really important that you invest in advertising, and you're investing well. So you want to make sure you put together an appropriate budget, but also that your business listing looks great. I mean, it's going to be a waste of money if you put a very small budget and your listing does not look up to par. It's always good to analyze and look at your area. Do some searches, as James mentioned, see what your competition's pages look like see what the market looks like, and make sure that you look just as good, or if not better, because now is the time to really make sure that your listing stands out.
And I want to touch up on Gina's point. One of the things that we see businesses afraid of is that first of all, they don't know how much money to budget for their advertising. Second is they're afraid that once they invest this advertising budget, they don't see the proper returns. Okay? What we usually do for the client is that we will ask them for a comfortable advertising budget, but we will plug that number into a forecast based off of the, well, you know, getting technical, the cost per click data that Yelp gave to us, based on what is the normal sales conversion rate in that particular industry. And we plug everything in to see, forecasting forward, if you do invest that amount of money, are you going to have a high chance of getting a positive return on your advertising investment? And there are some cases when we plug in the number, we see, no, it doesn't make sense. We will tell the client, don't advertise. It doesn't work for you because in your industry, there's too many competitors. The cost of advertising is too high. Based on how much margin you can make on your business, this is not going to work for you. We've seen cases like that. We would just flat out tell the client, no, you shouldn't advertise. But so far that we've seen, most of the people who advertise on Yelp in a particular industry, their return is positive. Just as the case study we showed you guys with, Edward give it a thumbs up, so he's saying yes, his return on his campaign works. Thanks for that vote of that testimonial. But normally we run that number through and we take a conservative estimate to it to make sure that if you do this, you have a high chance of success. Okay. But back to what Gina was saying, when you're thinking about the budget, don't think about how much it's cost per click. It really, at the end, is when you plug into that forecast. If today you invest in $500, can you get $2,000 back? If today you invest $2,000, can you get $8,000 back? That is the most important part, is that based on the forecast and the data, your advertising spending, is it going to generate a positive return for you? And we can do that at Cybertegic for you. If you're not sure how much to invest and what does it look like in terms of our outlook, give us your number and we'll run it through for you and see if it works for you. If not, we'll also be honest to tell you don't advertise. You know, it doesn't work for you. Okay. So with that said, I'd like to ask if there's any further question. If not, I would like to conclude this webinar, and thanks our panel speaker for joining. If you do want to have that events guide or that basic guide, send us an email or leave us a message in the chat room. Me and Johnny and Jennifer will stick around for a while, and then we will get those guides to you. But seems like there's no further question. So I want to thank our special panelists, Edward, as well as Gina. Thank you guys for joining us. And please stay safe and stay well. And Edward, I need to hit you up on the LASIK proposal again because I'm wearing glasses. My eyes is going back from looking too much at the screen.
We're here to help.
Okay, thanks guys. Thanks, Ed. I'll see you guys
Bye,
around.
everybody.
Thank you.